where have you been? It's been almost a month.
I tried. I crashed. No way back. I had no other choice. I had no other choice.
By the way, Louis just bankrupted the company, so I'm gonna have to send you out on another space excursion for cash right away.
No!
I've had this old GameCube disc laying around unbeaten for over 20 years and just recently decided enough was enough. The time has finally come to buckle down and beat Pikmin.
So many dead. They're all dead because of me!
Yeah, my first couple tries with this game back then ended in miserable failure, and it left me feeling a little bit discouraged and terrified of giving it another go due to the game's strict 30-day time limit.
I didn't know they couldn't swim! I didn't know!
But this time I prepared myself and optimized my strategy to ensure that Captain Olimar would survive. And I did it!
But at what cost?
Pikmin is a genius retake on tactical strategy games, where instead of controlling and ordering around your pawns like an omnipotent deity, you take control of one tiny, helpless spaceman with a whistle, with up to 100 plant-like minions called Pikmin at a time, eagerly awaiting his orders. You'll need to manage your Pikmin like troops to best optimize your time breaking down barriers, defeating enemies, and carrying cargo back to your ship, because you've only got 30 in-game days to collect enough of your crashed ship parts in order to safely escape the planet before your life support systems go offline and you die. And how long is a day? 24 hours?
Try 15 minutes.
Which actually at first feels like a ton of time to get a few big tasks accomplished, so you naturally get right to it. And then you run into some unexpected roadblocks, get ambushed by enemies, and find yourself scrambling in the final countdown to gather up all of your remaining stray Pikmin, because if you can't, you'll be forced to leave them behind to be eaten alive by the dangerous nocturnal predators of the planet. Pikmin is all about strategizing on the fly. You just brought a bunch of Pikmin to destroy some bramble wall when you discover a ship part that only the blue Pikmin can carry. So you start to divide your forces and figure out how to make do with multiple teams working simultaneously. Each type has their strengths you'll need to manage. Like red Pikmin have the best attack strength and are immune to fire. Yellow Pikmin can carry bomb rocks and are thrown much higher than the others. And lastly, the blue Pikmin have gills to breathe underwater. But the game doesn't outright tell you any of that, and I sure had fun learning this the hard way. Thing is, no matter how hard you try to keep those cute little guys alive, you're gonna lose some to unexpected hazards and enemies. Oh god, and no matter where you are on the map, if Pikmin start dying, you will hear that heartbreaking little death cry, and you've got to quickly figure out where the problem is, get it together, and try to save the remaining Pikmin from the same fate. Because if you don't, you'll potentially have your entire fleet wiped out in mere moments, and might even face a Pikmin extinction. So you gotta get more troops to make fights easier and manual labor faster, and you do this by hauling the defeated enemies and colored pellets back to the Pikmin's weird UFO ships called Onions, where new Pikmin will sprout, allowing you to pluck them and add them to your ranks. On the surface, it's a simple management strategy game, but it is so much deeper than that. Look, you personally pick every single one of these little guys who all unconditionally follow your orders. You don't just feel set back by losing some mechanically, you feel emotionally devastated because it's undeniably your fault that some of your devoted Pikmin are dead. They trusted you and now they're dead. It's all for the same goal of getting Olimar safely off the planet. How many have to die so that you may live? 1,154. Or at least that's what it took for me. Probably lost about half of them alone just trying to get my piggy bank back. Emperor Bulblax is no joke.
You monster!
No one alive will know of my crimes. My sins are buried in the Bulblax sand pit. I will never see the light of heaven. Keep in mind that this is an early launch title for the GameCube, and its textures, models, and even water effects are all shockingly well done for the system. I love how cartoonishly goofy this game's whole overall aesthetic is. You're this inch-tall spaceman commanding walking seedling minions to fight colorful buggy-eyed monsters. What I love is how it transforms innocent terrain like a creek bed or your own backyard into an unrecognizably macro-scale alien world for its areas. And the game never says what this alien planet is, but amidst the bizarre bizarre predators of the world, you're also going to be occasionally passing some relics of human civilization, like discarded bottles and cardboard boxes, implying that PNF 404 is actually Earth post some sort of human extinction event. PNF 404. Planet not found, error 404. Come on. Forget that. I have so many questions. Pikmin is such a cute little management game with so many disturbingly dark undertones. What happened here? Captain Olimar is pissing about in his spaceship coyly named the SS Dolphin, the codename for the GameCube, when he is suddenly sidewinded by an asteroid and sent crashing down towards a nearby unknown planet. Upon awakening on the surface, he finds the dolphin in shambles and quickly realizes that if he has any hope of ever seeing his family again, he will have to hunt down and restore all of his lost ship parts before his life support systems fail in 30 days. Nintendo is known for their happy-go-lucky games, and Pikmin tends to give off the same quirky vibe, until you read the logs of Olimar day after day reporting on what has happened to him, and we get a glimpse into his isolation, fear, and responsibility toward the Pikmin companions that he is letting down. Olimar's daily logs will report on whatever you accomplished that day, or what horrors befell you. He'll be joyous at receiving new ship parts, or wallow in shame after the deaths of his companions. He even writes about his wife and children. It's always played off as cute, but keeps reminding you that your mission is crucial, and if you fail, this funny little astronaut man will suffocate and die. Luckily, Olimar quickly discovers, names, and utilizes the local Pikmin to help him accomplish his otherwise impossible task, to try and recover all 30 lost ship parts before his 30-day time limit is up. And we should mention that the areas are all completely open. You'll likely spend a few days without recovering a single part, just exploring, defeating monsters, and opening shortcuts, and others you'll be fortunate enough to bring back more than one to make up for your time loss. And the game doesn't exactly tell you, but you technically don't need all 30 parts to reach escape velocity. If you do reach the 30th day, Captain Olimar will risk liftoff anyway and either crash and burn or barely make it off the planet if you happen to find all of the mandatory parts. But of course, finding them all allows Captain Olimar to achieve liftoff before the time limit, where in a cute goodbye cutscene he awkwardly bids farewell to the Pikmin who saved his life, and after his departure, they turn to a nearby bulb orb and attack it unprovoked, implying that they feel empowered after Olimar's journey and can now fend for themselves without him. There's also dozens of other colored onions that fly into space after Olimar, not only implying that there were tons of other Pikmin types that we just never saw, but that they might just have gotten the confidence to explore and invade other planets. And that's a little comforting. But the bad ending is even more unsettling. After Olimar fails to reach orbit, crashes back down on the planet, and dies, the Pikmin crowd around his dead body and carry him back to their onion, whereupon he is absorbed into it and sprouts out like a seedling himself, reborn as a disturbing Pikmin Hocketation hybrid. The end? God, I don't even want to know what that means. I have even more questions! Just like the rest of the game, the music is really weird, and as you progress areas from the landing site to the final trial, the music changes from optimistic to unnerving, and each area has an alternate version to seamlessly transition to combat and sunset. The cute little voices the Pikmin make give them loads of personality, making it even more gut-wrenching when you watch them all get eaten alive by a giant monster you thought you were ready to face as they cry out in agony. During the actual days, I'm always high-strung and focusing on optimizing my movements, so when the day ends and I get that record screen recapping the day's events, it feels so good just to soak in your accomplishments or reset in despair. While marketing the game, the Japanese group Strawberry Flower created a cute but terribly sad song titled I No Uta, or Song of Love, sung from the Pikmin's perspective. And though I'd recommend checking it out in its own right, it's important to note that this single ended up outselling the game. What? Even when it's not trying to be, Pikmin never ceases to be bizarre. I have more questions than brain cells at this point. I was stubborn and insisted on beating my old GameCube disc, but you don't have to be. This game got ported to the Wii with updated motion pointer controls, and recently up-res to the Switch bundled with Pikmin 2. Though it's admittedly hardest on the GameCube, do not miss your chance in playing this old classic modernized. Those pointer controls allow you to cheese the old puzzles and weasel your way around obstacles in unintended ways, so even if you're intimidated by the game's timer, you really can't fail in those new versions. I distinctly recall waking up in high school early to check the Smash Brawl announcement website daily, where one fateful day Captain Olimar was revealed as a playable fighter. I excitedly shared the news with everyone I knew, only to be met with the exact same response every time. Who? Don't be like those clowns and play Pikmin. The positive gamer in me loved Pikmin enough to pluck a flowering 7 out of 10. It really is an emotional rush in good times and in bad, even though this game at times is held back by some awkward controls and tricky puzzles. The critical gamer in me admires the uniqueness of Pikmin enough to scrap together a 9 out of 10. There's nothing quite like this unique, bizarre little game, and it's unfortunately rare that we see such an experimental title succeed this strongly. But what do you think? Let us know how your positive and critical sides rate Pikmin in the comments below. Some of Nintendo's best work is unexpected and weird, but if you'd rather just see them produce the same old formulaic games even after playing Pikmin, then you're just playing with yourself. So with the port of Pikmin 1 and 2 bundled on the Switch, on top of the fact that Pikmin 3 Deluxe is on the Switch, and Pikmin 4, you can play all 4 Pikmin games on one console now! This is crazy! It's been a decade wait between Pikmin 2 to Pikmin 3, and then from Pikmin 3 to Pikmin 4! Please, Nintendo, don't make us wait another 10 years. But thanks for watching. Remember to like and subscribe for more, and use the links in the description to nominate your own episode. And thank you to all of our Patreon members: Aspen, Arrow, Crystal, Sid, Genio, Laura, and Squad Fam. Booyah!